Hey everybody, welcome to a special holiday themed episode of Tier Force Heroes. I'm Gooey
Ooh.
Fame, and we're spooky in here. I'm joined by the Skull Kid Nico and Corey Richmond. And yeah, it's Halloween time, it's spooky season, so we're gonna be ranking all of the masks, all of the wearable masks in Majora's Mask.
Mm-hmm.
So, just not to belabor it, let's just get right into it. Let's get right into the tier, the totem time.
All right, it's totem time. Here
It's
we
totem
go.
time.
Woo!
Doing our special. That's it. Okay, things are looking good here.
They look
I
great.
I was thinking we should start with like a big one, like a transformation mask or something. And I see like, why not the Deku mask? Actually, it's the first like, it's not
Yeah.
even a mask right when you get in the game. So
That's a good point.
I tend to view these as the higher ranked ones. So honestly, maybe I'm just like jumping the gun a little bit, but I actually have this is one I like all the gameplay associated with the Deku mask. So I would personally put it as in one of the best masks in the game in the S tier. I don't know what you guys think about it.
I 100% agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, comparatively to all the other masks, like there's no debating that it does more. You can do more with it. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fine putting it up there.
Okay, we can start with it high. I love flying around. I love spinning, popping around on
Yeah, a
water.
little spinny. I love the little spinny.
The weakest thing is
the
maybe
bouncing.
the bubble, but it gets the job done, you know?
It's
Actually,
necessary.
I think even that's kind of fun.
It's necessary, like,
Yeah.
once. How often do you actually have to do that? Not very often, but it's fun.
Couple enemies and
Yeah.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah,
Probably
but it's
not
fun.
a lot.
No, but
The-
I love
the-
the
the-
Deku mask a lot.
Big pipes are awesome too. So.
Oh yeah, you gotta love the pipes.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that the instruments change with every mask. That's fantastic.
Especially the first time you pull that thing out.
Oh yeah, it's so like
What a
comical
surprise.
and shocking.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're pretty much in agreement. I
start.
mean, maybe there'll be like debates about that compared to other ones, but I guess we'll see where all the other non-transformations fit in. So,
Oh yes.
Corey, why don't you pick our second one?
All right, I'm gonna go with the all night mask
Ooh,
Okay.
because that's the one I'm seeing in the top left right there.
what a choice.
And I feel like a lot of the masks that you get in Majora's Mask, I feel like are used pretty much only for like one specific event type thing.
Mhm.
And I think this is one of those where you get the all night mask and it's basically only used to listen to those two stories. I think we're going to run into a lot of those, and they're relatively not super useful, especially compared to the transformation masks. So I want to say maybe like somewhere in the middle. But like if we compare all night mask to those other ones, I actually really like when you listen to her stories.
Yeah.
Because that's just really cool world building, and it's a freaky mask.
And it's like specifically like how you have to get it, and like it costs more money. Like it's really specific. So I kind of, some people might not like that it's like, oh, it's kind of a pain in the butt to get, but it's kind of a plus for me that it's so like unique and kind of harder to find.
It's definitely not a mask that everybody got their first playthrough of Majora's Mask. You know. Also, I think it gets some bonus points for just like the style, because it's meant to look like.
We gotta talk about the design.
It's meant to look
it's like a freaky torture mask.
Yeah,
thing.
it's supposed to be holding open your eyes. Like that's terrifying.
Whoa, yeah, that is freaky.
It's so
I'll give it
creepy.
points for that.
Yeah.
If it's, and you know, it's spooky season after all, so we have to give it points for that.
Yeah, it gets spooky points.
What were we saying for that? I feel like it's a.
I want to say B.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
For now.
Tentative B at least, because then as we get to more of like the one-time use masks, I feel like plenty of them will slot under this one. So I think that'll be pretty good to put in B for right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Nico, do you have one that's calling out to you?
I do. I really love the Bremen Mask. So I kind of want to.
Okay, I knew you were gonna say that one.
I want to pull it up. I mostly just like it. Once again, like what Corey said, it's one of those like one-time use masks. But I really like the little side quest with it. You get to cheer up that guy. Does he have a name in the game? This one? I don't remember.
It's like
Grog.
Some
Grog? Maybe it's Grog.
Gorgonzola. I don't know.
You get to cheer up Gorgonzola. And it's super cute. You go and collect the little chicks and they like pop up into full-grown cuckoos. I think it's cute. And the little song that plays is kind of fun.
That's a nice song.
Yeah.
I like the story of getting it too, where you hear the Guru's story and it's so weird and bizarre. And
he's
it has
freaking out.
And sure, like I think it's better than All Night. I actually kind of feel like it's maybe a B and All Night is C. I don't know what you guys think now that I'm thinking about it.
I personally like it more than the All Night Mask because its use is cuter.
Yeah.
But it doesn't get spooky
the Bremen
points.
Mask. I'm a big fan of. I think can't you use the Bremen Mask to make some Redeads march behind you too? Or am I just making that up?
The Ikana soldiers in the Egos do Ikana
Okay,
fight.
yeah.
And you can also get the dog because it's meant to like compel animals. So the dog in Clocktown will and that's pretty cute. That's
a
why
great
I
mask.
think
that's awesome.
It's better than All Night Mask because it has one like actual utility, but then all these like fun little things.
Little Easter eggs.
I would still not put it in A because I don't feel like it's like overall useful, but it's like fun.
Yeah.
Bremen Mask, I think it's really cool. I always get excited to get the Bremen Mask, and that's one of my favorite little side quest things. So I would propose putting it in A and keeping All Night at B, but I would also be fine with what you said, putting Bremen in B and then moving All Night to C. I'm fine either way.
I know I said I really like it, but I think it's a B mask. Just knowing how many really cool masks there are.
Because I have the next one I want to talk about. I feel like you guys might agree will maybe be above it in A. So yeah, if we're good with this for now, I was gonna say, what if we talked about the bunny hood?
Okay.
Which maybe some people might say S, but I think because it gives you an amazing ability, obviously. Yes. But it's obviously not I don't think it's as cool as like a transformation mask. But it is obviously a great utility. It's pretty awesome.
For early on in the game, I think it's fantastic because once I get the Goron Mask, all I want to do is roll around the entire map. But the bunny hood is so fun, and just watching little Link just like it's so cute. It's fun, and
I actually
makes it easier.
Always opt for the bunny hood.
Really?
Even over once I get the Goron Mask, when I'm like running around just in areas or even in a dungeon, like I have the bunny hood on.
Okay.
And the bunny hood, I think,
Link functionality.
Yeah, exactly. You can still use your items and stuff. And the bunny hood, I feel like for me, it's super iconic to Majora's Mask. When I think of like Majora's Mask, young Link, I think of him like wearing the bunny hood and running around wicked fast. I would actually put this in S tier. I think the bunny hood's one of my favorite masks in the whole game. Yeah.
Now, another thing to say about this is that this wasn't its first appearance. It appeared in Ocarina of Time beforehand. So
very true. That added functionality, though.
Yeah, and it's like, hey, let's make it better. You know.
It made sense because like you gave it to the racer in Ocarina of Time. So you almost wanted it to give you that in Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not opposed to S.
I'm okay with it.
Oh,
sure.
Let's put it up there.
Why not?
Tentative S. We can.
We're moving stuff around. We're free flowing.
We're always going to review.
A ton of masks, so like
we'll
see how this. We got to spell a P, of course. So
it's got to be P-shaped.
Of course, yeah, obviously.
That was mine. So Corey, go ahead.
All right. I'm gonna go. How about this? I'm gonna go with one that I'm not very fond of.
Ooh, okay.
How about the scent mask?
Okay.
That ugly little pig guy. I'm gonna put the scent mask in D. That's my personal. Whenever I get it, I don't use it. Isn't it only used for smelling mushrooms in the forest that you won't go back to after that part of the game, anyways?
Yes, but also you can smell the troop leader's underwear in Stockpot Inn, and I think you can get a mushroom from there. His
It's
stinky
a little
underwear.
disturbing.
And I like when you put it on and Link's like, "Arr, arr,
That's the
arr,
only
arr."
good part of the mask to me.
It's so funny.
Is the weird little
That's-
because he's like hunched down and he's like.
It's not useful in any way, but
that's disturbing to me. Putting that mask on and just like hunching over. Whenever I put it on, I'm immediately like, take this off. That thing is horrendous.
I like it. There's a few masks that I think are just fun to like wear around while you're playing. Well, I think Bremen, well, that one kind of takes away a button, but like Bunny Hood just looks cool. And I think just
Bunny
like
Hood
hanging out
does.
wearing the pig mask, the Mask of Sense, is funny for
Oh,
when you're
man.
when you're idling. It's awesome.
That's like some horror movie stuff. Link's going around scaring people wearing a hog mask, an
It's
ugly
kinda
hog
creepy.
mask.
But does that mean it gets spook points? It
Yeah,
gets
come
some spook
on.
points. Now, we can
I mean,
also
where do you
say
want to put it then?
this is another fun mask because in my eyes, this gets a little bonus point for an Easter egg as part of like the Star Fox Easter egg.
Same with Bremen, yeah.
Yeah, and that's same with the Bremen Mask.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
So it does have like some cool little things about it, but the mask itself, it's like,
Just because I can't really think of anything worse off the top of my head, maybe like I'm fine with D.
I'm cool.
I
with D for
actively
now.
hate it.
Okay,
Corey
I actually
actively
like
hates
it.
it.
I actively
would-
hate this mask.
I'm fine with D. I'm not gonna
Okay.
like I don't care that much about this mask.
Good.
This is the
Good.
mask that breaks us.
It's random too, right? Because you get it from the Deku Butler, and
It's
he
just
says some.
weird.
Yeah.
Why?
It's just random.
Like it is weird. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's just there to be there. All right, Nico, go ahead.
Oh gosh. How about the Mask of Truth? I think
Okay, another Ocarina of Time carryover.
it's another Ocarina of Time carryover. I'm trying to remember. So I have the ZD wiki pulled up to try to remember because these are a lot of masks and I don't remember what all of them do all the time. And in this one, you get it from the Spider House. I totally forgot that that's
the
where you
swamp
get it.
one.
And I
you
like
can talk to the.
I like the Spider Houses.
Yeah, and it fits with the theme of the guy had it, and it's you can talk to animals with it and gossip stones, and I like it's good for like just getting more bits of lore. Like a lot of lore we love in both Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask come from that because it's like weird side detail. Like even in the swamp house, you pick up the dog and he's like talking about his master and stuff and being worried about him or something like that, or he wants to get away. I can't even actually remember.
They say something different every day if you talk to him.
Oh, okay.
Really?
I think so. But then also talking to dogs at the racetrack. This allows you to pick the correct dog for that.
Yes,
I'm doing this for my family.
it's kind of there's still some like RNG there, but I kind of like that. It's kind of fun. It's realistic, you know.
It's cute. It's a really fun touch.
So funny enough, this being another one along with the bunny hood that was from Ocarina of Time first, and both of those masks, when I think of them, I think of Majora's Mask.
Me too.
For some reason, the Mask of Truth is super iconic to Majora's Mask to me, and I actually that is the 3DS box art. It has like Link with the Mask of Truth,
he's
right?
holding it like right on him.
Yeah.
It's
very cool.
This is one that I'm kind of split with that, just because it has a very similar like utility
function.
Yeah. But I think the way you obtain it, well, actually, there is kind of some like in Ocarina, there's a little bit of like lore behind it because it's kind of like the ultimate gift of the mass trading sequence in that.
Yeah.
So it actually kind of has a little bit more prestige behind it in Ocarina of Time, but I think it carries over here pretty well.
So I wanna propose B tier. I think it's along the same lines as the Bremen Mask.
Okay.
I was gonna say A tier.
Yeah.
Because of
thinking
the
A.
lore elements. Because so much of what and I think we touched on this when we were talking about the timeline in a previous episode. So much before Nintendo came out and just told us everything. It was us like getting to figure things out on our own. and finding those little Easter eggs and talking to every gossip stone, trying to find out what we could about the world of Hyrule and the world of Termina. So I think the lore aspect kind of makes it cooler, which is why I would say
I
A.
was thinking A.
I could
too.
agree with that. Yeah,
Cool.
That's fair. And you guys let me put Mask of Sense down in D tier, so
Okay,
Good
so
That's
we're
good.
even. Do we?
All right, Goo.
Do we have Goron Mask accessible?
It's right here.
Because I feel like we filled this out, so we can maybe knock out another big boy and talk about. I mean, the Goron Mask is also really fun. You mentioned the rolling. For me, it's also an S tier one because I love almost everything about it. I love rolling. I love doing the little butt stomp. I like the punching because especially I like to leave my sword at the smithy overnight while doing the temple, so I'm just in there punching everything.
You also get to do the little punch, and then you do the booty bump.
Little booty bump.
yeah. Ooh.
Bongos, playing the bongos is sweet.
It's cute.
And also we didn't really mention it, but the story behind a lot of these adds so much to it. I mean, we could get into all that, but I really like the all the individual character stories, and this is I think a really good one.
Goron Mask is my favorite transformation mask, so I'm totally fine with this.
Okay, you want to slide it to the front?
I feel like we're not ordering within.
I know.
But I feel like the transformation
masks
should be together.
Yeah. Okay, well, that was an easy one then.
Easy.
Very nice.
Corey, what do you got?
So, let's do... I kind of want to get your guys' opinion on this mask. What do you think about the stone mask?
The stone... That's the... Okay, not the Giant's Mask, the Stone Mask.
Stone Mask,
That I guess that one's kind of interesting to think about because they sort of changed it.
That's true. It's different between games. Versions.
Is the functionality different, or did they just change the location?
The location,
just the location,
where you get it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of ambivalent about it. I think it's useful, but it's not needed or anything. I don't know.
Even after I get it, I like to get all the masks when I play. Gooey, I know you've collected all the masks many times, sometimes at the marathon, but I just don't use it.
I use it at the when I'm trying to run it or whatever, because it just makes doing the Pirate's Fortress quicker because you don't have to think about it. You just kind of run through areas, But I mean, that in an actual playthrough of it, I don't really care about that value. It sort of just nerfs the section, I guess. But
I kind of like it. I think I'm kind of positive on it. I think. Well, I just think it's really cool. It's similar to who doesn't love in Breath of the Wild when you get the Bokoblin mask or something and you're wearing it around the Bokoblins and you're like, I'm in. This is so cool. And I really like the ability to be near enemies and stuff and not have them worry about you. And when you get it, I actually will always go through Pirate's Fortress with the stone mask. I make a point of getting it because I think that's so much more fun. Just run it through and it's like, hee hee, they can't see me.
Sure, it makes getting a photo of them easier too.
That's true,
and it feels good. It really feels like you're infiltrating.
Go ahead, Nico. Sorry.
I mean, I'll say I like it better in the original version, because it felt like more of a reward. In the 3DS version, he's the guard is at the base of that tower in Pirate's Fortress, and it's they're kind of handing it to you. But in the original game, it was sort of a reward for exploring a little bit more, and going to Icona Valley before, and oh, you did this little side quest. Here's the stone mask. Oh, that'll make Pirate Fortress easier.
I agree with that. I like that it's farther away, but I also feel like it's a little bit obscure. Because what are the chances that you're exploring and you also put the, use the...
Is there a hint or something?
I think a gossip stone tells you that there's a guard like a spirit hidden in the entrance to
that's
Icona.
pretty cool.
Well, where would you want to place it? Because like I said, it's kind of all over for me. Where I sort of, I don't hate it, but I just kind of don't really care too much about it.
I'm leaning more positive on it. I'm personally would probably put it A or B, but we're probably gonna have to move it down a little bit to meet with you guys.
I think B is fine.
No, B is fine because like I said, I'm just kind of like I appreciate the usefulness of it.
Yeah.
So.
All right, let's go B. Let's go B then.
Okay.
We're going B. What mask was this? Stone.
It's funny. It's got two little different sized eyes too.
It is a cool design.
It's a cute
mask. Cool
mask.
to kind of just wear.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna pick the Kamaro's mask because I thought this was like the funniest mask when I was a kid.
I feel similarly to it as I do the Bremen Mask.
It's so fun. It's just it plays the silly song and Link is just like doing his little dance, and I don't know, the side quest for it, like playing the Song of Healing for Kamaro is it's like it's nice, and it like translates everything for you in the text, and he's like, spread my dance, make it a new dance craze or whatever.
Doing poetry.
Yeah. I think it's a really fun like flavor in this world, and the mask itself, it really is only used for the one side quest to get the heart piece. But it's just fun, and it's so bizarre.
Like the Bremen Mask, I like any mask that at any moment you can just hit a button and do something like totally bizarre.
Wonky.
Yeah, I think,
and I love the design. Like you would think it would just be his face, but it's
his face that's like
head
up his head.
It's hideous.
It's so gross.
Yeah, this mask actually kind of freaks me out a little bit. I'm not as positive on this mask as you guys. Not a big fan.
The horrific nature.
I think
I like the dance. That's it. I really don't like the music. I don't really like that. I don't really like that little side quest. Because it's just you go to those girls and you show them the thing and they're like, hey, thanks.
Yeah, but it's...
And I hate that it's his head.
I like the head. Come on.
You don't like his head sewn on to the mask?
It freaks me out.
Frankenstein.
That's big time spooky points for that.
It gets a lot of spooky points.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like a crazy side quest or anything, but it's kind of novel. I like any of the ones where you're kind of interacting with the people, and like some people have got their own little issue, and you see them at the stockpot inn, and they're like, what are we gonna do for this dance? And then you learn this dance, and you're like, oh, I got the thing. Yeah,
that's what Majora's
and they call
Mask,
you master.
And that it is a little weird when you actually play the song.
Well, yeah, I agree.
But I will say this is what Majora's Mask was like known for when it came out, is just all these weird like characters that suddenly had so much personality, and it got it right. Like it made other games want to be like this. And so for that, like I think it's great because it's just kind of a throwaway mask as far as like the actual purpose, but it's one of those masks that it's kind of memorable because you're doing the weird dance, and like that song pops in my head all the time.
For me, it's a solid B.
Yeah,
solid B. I'm okay with that. Well, I don't hate it as much as the scent mask. It just weirds me out a little bit.
I'll put it there next to your stone mask, but not in front of your stone mask.
There we go. Good.
Is it me? Is it my pick?
Yeah.
I've been looking at it the whole time because it's first, so I want to do the Blast Mask.
Blast Mask.
Which I think is awesome. I think it's A tier because it's just so cool that you're like wearing this mask now and you just can hit a button and explode.
It's really fun.
And it can replace bombs. It does have a utility, but added to that, it harms you, which is amazing, I think. I don't know. I think it's close to S for me, actually, with how wild it is.
Does this one harm you if you're holding out your shield? I can't remember.
I don't think so.
No.
Why?
It doesn't.
Why does that
how
work?
The game is.
Doesn't make sense, but it makes it very useful.
I think that wasn't intended, maybe, but whatever.
I have played some like Majora's Mask randomizers, and there's always an option to make it so there's no cooldown on the blast mask. So you can just
Yes.
mash the button and he's just like
Fucking
it breaks the game. But it's so fun.
It can like legit, because it's likely you that's one of the earlier ones you can get.
Yeah.
And of course it ties into the whole Anjun Kafei thing in a kind of interesting way, similar to the All Night Mask.
Yep.
But what's cool is you could get it early on but not have a bomb bag, but then be going up and you need bombs to get up the mountain. And so like it could be a legit option to get up the mountain is your exploding face.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Definitely.
I love it.
Well, I think it's super useful too, because like every time, aside from losing your rupees, like every time you reset, every time you go back in time, you lose all of your like countable items. Like you lose your arrows, you lose your bombs and all that stuff. So it's really helpful if you're starting a new cycle and you need to use bombs and you didn't go out of your way to collect bombs, you just got the blast mask.
It's true.
You're talking this up into S tier here.
I wouldn't be opposed. I think it's a very useful mask.
We do tentative?
A or S for me.
Let's do tentative S, and then we're putting a lot up there though, so we might need to, because it's so fun.
It is.
It is very fun.
All right, I'm glad that was agreeable.
Corey.
Corey, what do you got?
Let's go with the Great Fairy Mask.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
I love.
I like.
This
I actually like this mask.
I do too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
Cool.
I mean, this is just another one where it's like masks that tend to be more useful tend to be the ones that I like the most. And if you're collecting stray fairies, this is a must. And it works very well because it works per room. And if there's still stray fairies in that room, it just does the little hair wiggle and the twinkle. And then like, I got to explore in here some more.
Yeah.
It's so satisfying to hit a fairy out of a bubble and the jingle plays and it just, you don't.
I love that
it's
jingle.
nice. You're like, I don't have to worry about it. It just comes to me. Yeah.
Yep.
This is an A tier mask, I think, because it's just good utility.
I think
not amazing, but
it's very useful because the power-ups that you get from the Great Fairies are fantastic. And then also Link looks great when he's wearing it.
Yeah.
It's one, back to like just one that's fun to wear around. Like
I always wear it.
Just seeing the hair, because it's so big, it takes up so much of the screen. It's like
so big and
impressive
flowy, so nice.
Very pretty.
I'm
tier?
cool with A. Yeah, I think A is a perfect spot for it.
Where's okay there? A tier.
All right, we got an F here. We spelled an F.
We literally have an F, a perfect F.
Put another one in A, and we are very close to a P.
We're getting there. Well, Nico, what's next?
I'm gonna go Don Gero's Mask.
Okay.
Because I don't love it.
Me either.
Because it's really annoying.
Me neither. Well, just that side quest, I think.
Sucks.
Right?
It's
because it's a lot of traveling back and forth and
It's
specific
so much.
timing and.
I love Majora's Mask. It's my favorite video game, but I hate this side quest because it's just not fun.
Yeah, I don't know what is like. There's something about like with the All Night Mask where it's like you have to be a specific time, specific place to get it. That's like kind of adds to the mystique.
Yeah,
and this is that too, where it's like it's sort of like, okay, if you now this additional challenge, like you got to go back and get all those frogs and fight them, which really isn't that hard to do. But I think it's just the fact that it's like
it's annoying.
Like if you're playing, like you're like, okay, but are there more frogs I'm going to encounter? You know what I mean? It's not until like you've played it a few times and then it's like, okay, on this cycle I'll go do all the frogs. You know,
It's not fun when you go and you think you're doing it right, but there's one frog you don't have access to yet. And so you go kill all the others and you think you're good and then you're not. Because I did that as a kid.
Yeah, I think it would actually be fine if it's one you got like towards the end and then it's like, now go get all the frogs and you're like certain of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like even though it might be annoying to travel back through time, I think that would make for just like a cool challenge, you know. But I think it's the fact that you don't know and you get it kind of early, you know.
You get it way too early. I think that's like the biggest issue is that you get it so early on in the game. It's in the second area. Like
Yeah.
way too early.
Right after you beat it, yeah.
There's still so much you can do.
You can get it before.
Yeah.
From the
Oh,
Goron.
can you?
Yeah.
You get it from the Goron, and then the quest is kind of initiated when you beat.
After everything is done.
Yeah. They're like, now that it's spring, we can meet up. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing.
Okay.
You go, Nico.
No, you go.
I think the mask itself is kind of funny, and I would really love to meet this Gero character. I think it would be really cool if, like, instead of like getting it from the Goron or something, like you go in some cave and you get to meet like this big bulky frog, and he's like, "Oh, I'm too old now. I can't get my guys. Like, you need to get them for me."
Especially because Zelda has a long history of going and meeting a weird frog guy.
Musical
frog or whatever.
Musical frogs.
Yeah, especially
That's very true. Why would they not bring this back? That's
Imagine
perfect.
a 3D wart, wart from Super Mario Brothers. It's similar to the scent mask in that it's kind of random who you get it from, which is sometimes fun. That it's like a little quirky, that it's like, why does this guy have it? Like, for example, the Guru one is quirky, but he has like this story tied to it, and that like sells you on how goofy it is. Where it's like, I think the butler mentions something about it. The Goron has it for some reason, but it's kind of like, what?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's just not my favorite mask. It's a D tier mask to me because I just don't like it.
I'm okay with that.
I would personally put it in C.
Okay.
Wow.
Because that dang scent mask.
I like the scent mask better than this.
I do too.
Okay. All right. I think we got to do D then. I think that's fair.
Okay.
We're making an E.
It's all right.
Okay. I want to talk. It's me, right? I'm gonna say let's talk about the captain's hat. It's sitting right there.
Yeah.
That's another one that's one that gives you like certain disguises with certain enemies, right? I know there's like a few, and that it's cool how you get it. It's another one that'll fool. You can use it in that battle with Ego Stuakana to kind of confuse them, and it gets you into the different graves. I think that's all pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think it's fun enough that it justifies like it's not like one of the most amazing ones, but it's pretty awesome. I don't know if you guys have anything to add to it.
I think what's kind of cool about this is you fight an overworld boss to get it.
Yeah, very
Which
true.
that does not happen.
That's a cool fight.
In like older Zelda
exciting.
games, overworld bosses, that's not a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's
really
super
fun.
cool.
Yeah, you're very
just
right.
all anything that's like Icona related is like dripping with lore.
Oh yeah.
I love
that's
it.
like mysterious so I like all that like mysterious, like what went on here, and so like part of the history of that region is like the captain who led his troops and stuff, and that's kind of cool.
Of the masks that allow you to talk to things that you can't normally talk to, I love the captain's hat because the Style Children are just so funny. They're just great little characters. I love the guys that are marching around the graves.
Loyal to the end.
Would you like me to move this grave?
And they just
that scene in Ancient Castle of Icona, where if you walk into that boss fight wearing the mask and you get close to the king, that is such a fantastic little scene where he's like, "Wait a minute!"
His jaw literally drops.
Yeah, that's very fun. I'm okay with A. A makes sense to me.
I agree. I agree.
Nice.
All right. Following up on that, one that you get right around the same area. Let's do the Gibdo Mask.
Okay. I was thinking with this, which one makes the Gibdos or the Redeads dance, or is that like a few of them?
I think they both do. I think multiple do.
The
I'm not
Gibdo
sure.
Mask does.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that should get automatic points, I think, because that's amazing.
Well, so I think it allows you to talk to Gibdos. It's pretty similar to the captain's hat, but I feel like it just has a little bit less lore, a little bit less presentation to it. So I would put it maybe a tier below the captain's hat.
Although it still has a great way of obtaining it.
I like the little story
a really heartbreaking little moment with Pamela.
Yeah.
And her
you know
dad.
what? You're right.
That's like
very true.
Because I remember the first time
That's a fantastic
I
moment.
walked up to that cupboard and Pamela's dad came out and he's like, "Brrr." I was terrified when I was a kid. That freaked me out. And it's
that was
sad.
one of the most heart, like, there are a lot of moments in Majora's Mask where like you play the Song of Healing and it's a very like heart-wrenching, like deep moment, and this was one of the ones that really hit me the first time I played it, where Pamela is like, don't worry, Daddy, like you were just having a nightmare. Like to see a little girl do that for her parent,
I
like
know.
that's nuts.
I think it's really sweet.
Yeah.
You all right, you guys have convinced me to pop it back up an A.
Yeah.
Plus, if you like rupee farming in Iconic Castle, it's the way to go.
It kind of feels bad, like killing those guys who are just dancing.
You just walk in, they just do their little twirls,
They're
and you
cutting a rug,
slice them
and
up.
then you come in.
Oh.
All right, well, Nico, what?
I'm gonna do the Giant's Mask, because this is a weird one. It's technically a transformation mask, and it's different between the versions of the game. But I don't like it in the original game. But in the 3DS version, I love it.
I'm with you. Yeah, I love Pro Wrestling Link.
Pro Wrestling.
I love
it's great.
Yeah.
But in the original, it's just nothing special. It's just suddenly you're larger in an arena where you spend 3 minutes.
If you run out of magic, it's kind of annoying. But I think I feel like in the remake they made it easy. They give you more magic.
There's definitely more magic in the 3DS version.
Yeah. Which I don't think. Why is it got to be magic based at all? But
because you can only use it in that one arena.
I think it is just a little bit precarious. It's a little weird, and especially because you get it for the last boss of the last dungeon, and like you can only use it in boss fights. So like unless you just feel like, hey, let me go back and fight another boss I already fought for fun, just so I can use it, you're really not going to use this mask.
No.
More than once, maybe twice.
I feel like it has the high highs of like Link doing the moves, but then kind of low lows of like its implementation. To me, that makes it kind of a mixed thing where I would throw it in like a B or something like that.
B is pretty solid for Giant's Mask. Although I do have a question for you guys. I don't know like what the design is based on. Do you guys know? Because it's the Giant's Mask, and then there are 4 giants in this world.
Doesn't really look.
They
like
look
them,
nothing alike.
It doesn't look like them.
So I'm like, what is this thing?
That's the mask they wear.
I don't know.
Like I don't know. I really don't know.
I think
it just looks like some sort
cool.
of like warrior mask. It does look kind of cool, but like
it's got a great design, yeah. But that's it. I don't know.
Yeah. Are we? I'm okay with B or C. Either of those is fine. I personally don't have as like the 2 that I like in B are Bremen Mask and Stone Mask, and I feel more strongly about those than this one.
Yeah, I could go with C.
Yeah.
I feel like there's elements of it that are like I said, S tier. Like I love when Link does the flexing and stuff. That would be S tier, but the fact that it's really just that moment, I don't know.
Well, yeah, so but again though, the pro wrestling moves, like does that only work for twin mold?
Yeah.
Because like it's the chokehold and swinging it around. So really you only get those cool moments in that one boss fight.
Yeah.
Like that's
not great.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, you can only use it there. Yeah. Okay, fine. C.
I think C.
Sometimes I think that's fine that something has like a specific area and it's like really fun, but I don't know. It could be better.
It could. It could have been implemented better.
It's just kind of random too. Like, I don't know.
All right. Back to you.
Okay. I want to talk more about the Icona lore, so I guess we can do the Gero Mask.
Yeah.
Which has a different design actually, but I think it made sense to make it like kind of the leader, the master's mask in the remake. But again, I think the Gero lore is really cool, and like spawning them and like they're just really cool to encounter. It's kind of annoying the notifications you get whenever you're in an area they can be spawned, but I don't know if that's to be held against the mask. I don't know.
I'll tell you what, I love this mask. I think it looks awesome, and so I love wearing it. And then I'm just walking around Icona, and I'm like, crap! There's another battle I got to do, because I forget that it like lets the battles happen, and so they just start, and I'm like, God dang it! All the time.
But I think it's cool. The lore is cool, so that kind of like holds it up, and it's useful. You get useful hints and some like lore details from them, I guess, too. Mostly hints, I feel like.
They have fantastic little dialogue, the Garos, when you fight them. I just think they're super cool. They're a fantastic race. But the design of both masks, either in the original version or the remake, are both super cool.
Yeah.
I like the original. Is pretty high up there for me.
There's something I like about how random it is that the Gormans have them too, because they do feel like the kind of guys who like come across this like
right. That's another one where it's like it kind of adds to the mystique of it that you get it from these like kind of random dudes. It's like, why do you have this?
Yeah,
it feels like something that they would have come across in their dirty dealings, and now they're like, well, let's wear these to harass Romani or whatever, I don't know. It's like B for me though. I think because it looks cool and has cool lore, but like it's like I said, you mentioned it too. It's a little annoying at times.
You have to get it to get the tree to pop up? Is that correct?
Yeah, the guy won't go away unless you have that mask.
Wear it. So it does have a specific use that you have to have it for. But other than that, there's no actual like 100% need for it. Is that right?
No, the guys will give on your first playthrough. A lot of those hints I think are kind of vital, pretty helpful, but
that's true.
You don't really need it.
I'd say
it's like a random gating,
is good with me.
I would go with A.
Yeah,
I'm pretty strong on this mask. This is my favorite mask from that region, and I just love the Garos, and you're right that it can be like a little bit frustrating that those battles pop up, but fighting the Garos, they're like some of my favorite enemies to fight just because they're so like agile and they bounce around and stuff, that at least in this most recent playthrough, I was very much looking forward to whenever one would pop up, because I would be like, we get a cool fight and we get some juicy little lore.
I like that.
I feel like you're just trying to maintain
and I look cool while doing it.
But okay.
No, I do really like it.
Cool. All right, that's fine.
All right.
I think
my
it's
turn.
Yeah.
Let's go with the Romani Mask.
Okay.
little cow hat.
Yeah.
I think it's cute.
Any of the animal ones you wear, I think, are automatically cute and they're fun to wear. All
it really does is get you into Chateau Romani, right? Or the milk bar, rather.
Yeah, which I think is a nice little detail, and like the quest you get it from is it all like the quest that's tied to makes a lot of sense and is satisfying to get it, and then the reward it like makes sense and is like a fun lore detail. It's not the craziest thing in the game, but for my initial feeling would be like B tier, like it's nice.
Yeah.
What do you think, Nico?
I mean, I really love going into the milk bar. Like, I think that area is really fun.
Nice tune.
Yeah. You get to listen to the
nice tune.
You get to play the Ballad of the Windfish.
Yeah.
Apparently.
It makes me think that it's a nice cross section of a lot of the stories, like there's a lot of the characters in there that are separate to other things, or 3 characters at least, and it's cool to be able to go in there and talk to people and stuff.
It is kind of fun because the milk bar is there right from the get-go, and it's there, and if you're exploring Clocktown for your first time, you're like, God, how do I get in there? How do I get into that? How do I get into the like? Let me in, So I definitely give it points for allowing you access to a place that you probably are kind of curious about.
Yeah, I at least on this most recent playthrough, I didn't really go in there that much, just because I I only kind of associate it with like get some Chateau Romani before you go up to the moon. And like that is super useful. It's very nice being able to access Chateau Romani. That's a fantastic little, little power up drink thing that you can. I'd be okay with B or C. Either one of those is fine.
I think I want to go B. There's a few I'm looking at here, or maybe there's one in mind that is more C to me. So that I would offer up in exchange for putting it in B, but maybe you would disagree.
Well, let's which one are you talking about? Let's go for it.
Well, I'm thinking because it's related. I'm thinking the troop leader mask,
which I would say is like a C tier mask.
Yeah, it's like okay, and like the similar to the last mask, the Romani Mask. Like the story you get it from is nice, I think, and then like the way you can use it again isn't very useful, but it's an interesting Easter egg.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why it's a little less than that. So similar, I think it's similar to that in that they're both kind of neat, but like this one's just like a little bit lower to me.
So you guys want to do the troop leader in C and Romani in B?
I might even go lower on the troop leader's mask.
Okay.
I'm not. I just think
you don't
it's
like
kinda,
that it cries.
You want to go C and D?
That is kind of cool. That's a neat little effect.
I hate that.
I'm okay with where Romani Mask either B or C. I'm fine with troop leader mask either C or D. I'm fine with.
Okay.
We could do B and C. We could do B and D.
Maybe they don't need to be related.
I don't think that the Romani Mask is any better than the All Night Mask. So
Ooh,
I think the All Night Mask is cooler.
What do you think, Corey?
Like,
why is this the one we're
I don't know. Well, I think because it's not super. The Romani Mask isn't super memorable to me. But thinking about it, you guys are talking up the points of like getting into the milk bar. It's, you can't get in there at first. So you're a little curious about like, ooh, what's in there? I personally feel like what's in there isn't super exciting, but maybe I just didn't spend enough time in there. I know that you can do
about everything in there. Yeah. So, we covered it all. It's not like a lot.
I think I might put it in B. I'm going to go with B. It's cute.
Okay.
The cuteness factor bumps it up to B for me.
It's a nice one to just wear. Okay, well, how do we feel about then troop leader? D?
I'm okay with that.
I don't like it. I genuinely do not like it.
I mean, it's kind of an ugly one to wear, but
it's
I think
ugly
that's
and sad.
Sort of the point.
It is.
That's awesome.
That is the point, but also it's ugly and sad, like Nico said.
I don't know. I don't know how else to put it.
We haven't encountered one that I hate, but I think compared to the other ones, I can see it being there.
I'm perfectly fine doing a playthrough of Majora's Mask and never getting it.
Wow. Well, we kind of skipped you, so if you want to nominate one, you should.
Well, I will pick the Zora Mask.
Whoa. I mean, we've kind of dedicated less time to all the transformation masks, which is funny, but we think they're all pretty sweet. I think
it's because they kind of speak for themselves.
Awesome.
It's the main mechanic of the game, really, other than the time travel. But yeah,
I would say the Zora is actually my favorite transformation mask, specifically from N64, because in the 3DS version they kind of ruined it with having to use magic to. They changed this.
Wait, you don't have to use magic in the original?
No,
to swim. No,
but there's the difference is there's no slow mode. Yeah,
okay.
Which I actually like. I like switching between slow and fast, but I wish there was like slow mode, fast mode, and then magic mode. You know what I mean? Like I wish there were 3 speeds. Because sometimes I want to go fast but not attack.
I will say though, I think every time there's like a swimming mechanic in a game that's like pretty fluid, I compare it to how you swim as a Zora in Majora's Mask. because
Okay,
it was clean.
That's fair.
It
It
worked,
feels really good.
especially
I
for
honestly
the
like it
N64.
in both versions.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it's great. It feels awesome. I love swimming around as a Zora.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
For sure. And the boomerangs, super
Oh,
cool.
they're so
That is
cool.
really neat.
I love it.
I like each one had its own way of like implementing what the inputs would be
Mm-hmm.
that like
Mm-hmm.
that serve not, I would say, similar but not like reskinned functions that are
Yes.
unique and like make sense with the character, you know.
It's basically like you genuinely have like 4 playable characters, you know,
Yeah, it's
between
so
the main
awesome.
3 transformation masks and Link. I think it's really cool.
Well, since I kind of nominated up the troop leader Corey, I should skip a turn, and Corey, you can just go ahead.
I'll go with what I think is the weakest one of the ones left is the Postman's hat.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
This is an if I were to pick the masks that I wouldn't get in the playthrough, like if I was doing a casual playthrough and I was just picking up masks, Postman's hat is not one I'm concerned with getting at all. Because like, what does it allow you to do? It allows you to like read the mail.
Yeah, which well, you get a heart piece. You read the
From
mail from the mail.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, this is in here."
Is
And
that
I
it?
don't. Yeah, I think so. Then otherwise, you get like, I think you get like, oh, here's like a rupee or something. You know.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can get rupees.
I think the story is kind of nice, but like you're kind of, I think
It's true.
you can either choose to deliver it to her. Like there's things you can and can't do, so you kind of have to do it the Anjun Kafei thing
Yeah.
twice to like see everything. So that's kind of weird, but interesting, I guess.
It's almost like in my head, I almost view like the bunny hood as like the true Postman's hat because
Especially because you can use it in the little mini game.
yeah, I mean it lets you see the timer, and so
Yeah.
I don't know. The Postman's hat is just kind of like
It
Kinda
would be
meh.
great if there was a postman, like you could deliver the mail. Like that would be sweet.
Yeah. I just feel like there's not enough functionality to it. It's cool wearing his hat, but like
It
there's
looks
so many
nice.
other much cooler masks, you know?
I agree.
Is it D tier?
I would put it in D tier.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine.
Yeah.
This is jeopardizing the P, but
That's okay. It's
Yeah,
not gonna happen.
That's
it's
true.
fine. I'm
Nico-
doing this to show my integrity to this tier list.
Can I, Nico, since you're picking next, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you feel like there's anything that we would slot into C tier? Because I don't like this. Only 2 things in C tier.
I don't know. I'm really conflicted on these last 4 because 3 of them are basically connected, and then
they're all
Fierce,
well, no,
and then there's
not.
the Fierce Deity Mask. Well, I mean, Fierce Deity Mask is connected to all the masks,
Connected
technically.
to all of them. Yeah.
But let's just do Fierce Deity, and then we'll talk about Anju and Kafei. I don't know what else to do.
I think the Fierce Deity is kind of sweet for obvious reasons.
I mean,
but
I love Fierce Deity Link, for reasons I won't go into. But I think this is like the ultimate goal of Majora's Mask. Is get like in my mind every time I play, I'm like, the only reason I'm getting the Postman hat is so that I can get Fierce Deity's mask.
It's a sacrifice.
Yeah, it's such a cool reward for the end of the game because you helped all of these people throughout Termina. You did all of these weird little side quests, and you did a lot of things that involved a lot of very specific timing, and you're rewarded with this literal god in a mask that turns you into this beast that just destroys Majora in like 10 seconds. I think it's awesome.
I like it. I mean, I think Corey and I talked about a little bit about this on the dungeon dive, Gooey's dungeon dive, but like where it's like the fight is actually more fun without it.
I agree.
You know what I mean? But like it's cool that it is it's like it makes you ridiculously overpowered if you went through all the trouble to like get all that stuff. So it's like, and it's still optional. So like I think it's
Yeah.
really cool in that regard. Like when I feel like people criticize it sometimes, is like, well, it makes the last fight easy, but it's like, well,
It's not easy to
it's
get the
kind of
mask.
it's kind of the point. Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like it offers, it does make the final fight a joke. I do think that's true, but
Yeah.
I don't think that necessarily jeopardizes the integrity of the ending. It almost gives you a different experience because the Fierce Deity Mask is, it's inherently tied to Majora's Mask, and there have been so many like fan theories, and I think the
Yeah.
manga goes way in depth about it, and there's just so much lore and so much mystery around it that the fact that you get it, you're like, what is this mask? What's the deal? And then you become so strong that you can absolutely destroy Majora.
Yeah.
It's like, what am I? What is this mask? And it's
Yeah.
almost like an alternate ending where you become like the destroyer and you just like annihilate Majora.
It is very cool. Now, Gooey, we know you love the battle between light and dark. And
I live for it.
And it's all you live for, obviously. This is the equivalent of the light mask, if Majora's Mask were the darkness. So I think I love the Fierce Deity Mask.
I love all the little interactions with the guys too, and they're like, "Give me more masks."
The creepy little salesman.
I just think of that section of the game, which is one of the most interesting parts of the game. Is a lot of the like interactions with those little guys on the moon. So, do you guys sound like S tier? That's what you sound like you're going for.
I feel like there's no other place for it. It's got to be S tier.
It has to be.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Put it right. Wait for it.
I don't know where I would have put it, but that sounds good. Yeah. So because all three of these are connected, I want to talk about the one I think is maybe the weakest, which is Kafei's Mask.
Okay.
Because I think the quest is cool and it kicks off the whole trading sequence, and I like it for that. And it's cool. Like just some of the like early masks in the game, you can just kind of find. And it's like, then you're like, oh, hey, I got this mask, and I should try wearing it and talking to people. So that's kind of fun, but in the grand scheme of the game, it's not that exciting beyond starting that quest. It just feels like you got to wear it, and there it goes.
Yeah, I would say it's almost like a little bit of a cop out because it's like, oh, here's what Kafei looks like. Go talk to people. The only reason it looks like this is because you haven't seen this character before. And it's like, I don't know. It's not the best design of a mask. It's just his face, but it looks hollow and kind of creepy.
The plus of it is that he's one of the first people you like see when you start the game, because he comes out of South Clocktown like early on. And so it's kind of cool because you get that and you're like, I'm pretty sure that's that guy. But I don't know what his face looks like, why is he small?
It's the hair.
I don't know if I would agree that this is the weakest one of these three.
You think? Okay.
I don't know. I'm kind of torn, but functionality, like I actually really like getting Kafei's Mask because if you think about what you're doing and how you start that quest, it's kind of hard because, we have all played Majora's Mask multiple times, and we know how you initiate the Anju and Kafei quest. We know that you need to wear it and go to Anju. If you don't know that, what the player's going to naturally do is pop the mask on and start doing some detective work. Going around town, and it's like, have you seen this person? Have you seen this person? And I like that they give you different, depending on who you're talking to, they give you different, like, oh, I saw that kid, blah, 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 over there. Or like they might be like, oh, that mask, And
it's kind of simplistic, but it makes me think of how novel it was in Ocarina of Time. They're like, here's the Zora Mask, like try it on and see what people say. And you just like get little insights onto the characters. And so that's why I think of this as like one of the early masks in the game, because it harkens back to that like kind of novel, like the simplicity of it. So I don't really even think that's that bad. I just, I can appreciate what you're saying actually though, of like trying to find the person,
That's kind of what like makes it is, I do like that I like anything that gives you optional dialogue, anything like that I think is really cool, but because it just adds just this little bit more depth to the world and to Clocktown, which to blend it in with these other masks, I'm not sure either of those really do that as well. I think the couple's mask is very symbolic because, it's what you get at the end of it. But once you get the couple's mask, it's only used to quell that one argument,
Yeah. But I mean, that's kind of a cool moment, though, I think.
It is.
Like,
It definitely is.
Okay. I mean, where do you think Kafei's mask should be? I just still don't think it's as cool as some of the other ones, but
I don't know, because if this were my personal list, I think I might put it in B because I think it's kind of cool. But what do you guys want to do?
I don't love the design of it, just simply being like his face as a kid.
It does look like if Kafei was Michael Myers.
Yeah, exactly. Don't love that. I think that always like kind of creeped me out when I was younger. But like everything you said, Corey, I love the world building that it gives you. It does kick off the quest, like probably the most iconic quest in almost maybe the entire Zelda series.
Yeah. For sure.
So, I would put it in B.
Would be okay. I'd be
well,
okay
that's what
with
I
B,
think.
Yeah.
I think Kafei's mask is the most iconic mask from that side quest, in my mind. I think it's more iconic than the Keaton mask or the couple's mask.
See, I think Keaton's mask.
I think of that quest and I think of that mask.
No, I think it's the Postman's hat, but
Corey, you're obviously wrong. Why don't we'll toss it up here in B next to Romani.
That feels
I think that's
right.
It does feel right to me.
Well, okay, so you feel like it's stronger than which one do you want to talk about next?
Well, you brought up the couple's mask. Do you want to?
Yeah, let's do the couple's mask because we already started talking about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. C or B. I like it. I love what it symbolizes. It's like a really cool way to end that side quest that finally, once you reunite Andrew and Kafei and they're gonna like face their deaths together, it's like this is the symbol of their union, and it's really nice and it's really sweet. And I do like the fact that moment in the mayor's office where like you stop the fight, it's like it is really cool that the mask could have that power over people, to just convince them like, why are we fighting? Like, let's think of our families, blah blah blah.
And it's a combination of the other two masks, right? It's the
sun and moon mask.
Moon mask, yeah. So that's
cool. I think I really like the idea of the couple's mask, but like as a mask that is wearable in the game of Majora's Mask, I feel like it just doesn't do much for me.
I think that's really fair. I'm a sucker for the story, so I love it because of what it symbolizes.
Yeah.
But I get it. Yeah. As far as like its actual usage, it doesn't do much.
It should be the Fierce Deity's mask of the other masks, where when you get it, you are overpowered in that everyone will fall in love with you.
Yeah, and Link wears a wedding dress, and it's actually its own transformation mask. Yeah.
Where would you put it, Corey?
I'd probably put it in C because it feels like there's a spot missing there, and I value the uses of these masks more than anything. I think
I would agree with you. I do. I am like, it kind of like a stab in the heart for me because I do love this mask. It's very pretty, especially in the 3DS version. It's so shiny. And
it's shiny and reflective.
Yeah, it's really reflective and like iridescent. But it just doesn't have a lot of uses, and it could have been a lot cooler. So I get it. I think C is fine.
I could be talked up. Like I don't feel strongly about this like I don't think this mask is bad. I just kind of think comparatively it's a little less. Well, I like what it symbolizes, but functionally it's like
Let's look at the other masks that are in C tier. You got 2 other one-use masks, basically. So
yeah, there are plenty in B that I feel like more strongly about it than them. Like there's like even Kafei and like Stone Mask, I know it's more useful, but I'm kind of ambivalent about it. But I guess if you're feeling C, I can live with it. I just feel like the conclusion if it just feels like nice, even though it doesn't do anything.
Well, that's why I'm open to change.
I'll be honest. If it was like the Sun Mask itself, I would almost think it's cooler and like want to bump it up more because I don't know. I think it looks really fun watching it go through when you're playing as Kafei and Link and you have to do the little puzzles because it's so stressful. I almost wish it hadn't transformed, like the two of them. I'm okay with C, but that's just I want it higher in my head just because I'm like emotionally attached to it. But I don't think that is necessarily.
If you want it higher, if you guys both want it higher,
I don't think it's worth fighting for. But Gooey, if you want to,
let's put it there for now. And I just want to know why is the Keaton mask last, and like what do we think about that? Because I feel like it's cool in the story, I guess. Like it's just like a mask he has that he's wearing. But like the quiz is kind of neat, but I don't love it.
It's love okay. The quizzes.
I like the Keaton itself more than the quizzes.
Looks like a Pokemon. It's almost like Pikachu and Ninetales had a baby.
It's like a Ninetales. Yeah, exactly. That is what it is.
It's like the animal ones where it's like, it just looks, it's nice to wear. You look like a little guy. Animal guy.
It is very cool to wear.
It's a C to me also. Like that's where I would probably throw it. I actually kind of like it in Ocarina of Time more because I associate it with the guy who like bullies you. And then it's like, by the way, can you get this mask for my kid?
And then he wears it the entire time.
Yeah.
Never gives it to his kid.
That's pretty funny.
It is kind of cool. Like, it's like, it comes because you get that Kafei mask and it's like, oh, I see a guy who looks like this. And then you like eventually meet him and then you eventually get the mask he's hiding his non-Michael Myers face with. It's kind of cool in the story, but I don't know. I don't love that one.
I think I would be okay with C.
Okay.
Like it is, I don't know. I remember liking the Keaton's mask more. And I don't know why. Because it's like not super exciting.
It's memorable, I think, because it's the first one you get in Ocarina of Time, I think. Mm-hmm. So like, and it's got a very nice design, it looks like Pikachu.
Yeah, it does look like Pikachu.
You like the quizzes, Nico?
I love the quizzes. I think it's so cute. And like, as a kid, this is like the mask I would wear when I ran around playing Majora's Mask.
I could see that.
Because it's cute, it's fun, and I don't know, like, that's how I ended up finding the quizzes and was like, what? Yeah. And I feel like a lot of people who play Majora's Mask don't even know about the quizzes because they just never wear this mask.
Yeah.
It's like a cool part. It's like a fun Easter egg that a lot of people don't know.
I think it's one where you like to initiate it. It's like, I think there's a like Mask of Truth gossip stone that might tell you about it because it's kind of weird, It's
very specific.
Like, what are these bushes?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't get it, you're just like, why do some bushes run away?
I don't get this.
Especially because there's one right in the beginning of the game that
you can't go back to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm always
so
like,
weird.
To me, it felt like them being like, this isn't like what you thought it was going to be. This Zelda game is so wacky.
This is a quirky game.
Where would you place it, Nico, if you had your way?
I think I like it just as much as I like Kafei's mask. I would put it in B tier. It has more use than the couple's mask. It's definitely one of the more iconic ones, seeing as it's between Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. I don't know, and it's based on one of the most lovable characters in history. So how could you not love this mask?
So I think I'm okay with B, but I'm not okay with, like, can you put it at the end of B right now?
You just don't like the shape?
Just
look at this
partially,
shape.
But more than the shape. those last 4 in B tier, like, they don't sit right to me. I think one of those has to go down.
To fix the shape?
I well, not even yes to fix the shape, but also just because.
Okay,
like,
which one?
Though, at least in my mind, those are not on the same tier as Bremen or Stone Mask. None of them.
It can't be Kamaro's mask.
Okay.
The dance is too good.
Okay, so of those,
I'm okay with.
Of those 3 on the end, like
Romani.
Romani?
I mean, Romani, we said B or C, right?
Okay. I would go down on Romani. I would put Romani's mask down.
I kind of forget about it. If being honest.
Yeah. Fine. Put it, see what it looks like. Put it at the front, please, of C. I can live with this. I just I don't know. But I don't like the couple's mask being below. Okay. I feel like I can't get it up without moving something else I like down, you know?
This is funny that we're struggling with like the B and C tier.
I know. All right. No, I'll live with this. I can lock this in if you guys are all right with it.
I don't have any major issues. I mean, so many of them are like, this one could maybe be up or maybe be down. I think it's pretty fair. I'm sure we'll have plenty of comments from all of our friends telling us how wrong we are. So please tell us how wrong we are.
Absolutely.
Well, we got a strong. I really like a lot of the ones we got into S that aren't the transformation.
Oh yeah.
And A has a lot of really sweet masks too. Overall, this is a pretty sweet list, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm okay with this.
Majora's Mask goes in S+ tier. If it were collectible, perfect. We're good.
Yes, obviously it's the namesake. The whole game is S tier. Some might say.
Can you tell I'm a fan?
I can only tell by the lurking mask.
Has that been there the whole time?
Well, cool. I'm glad we got one that no one's feelings were overly hurt. So
no.
Listen,
nope, not this time.
I don't want to talk about it. I had people in the comments backing me up. I am so happy that there are other Fi lovers out there.
Someone called Corey like a sicko or something. So.
A sicko? That's a word used. That's a word reserved for very special sick individuals.
Corey, you're not a sicko.
This one was a lot of fun to do.
Yeah,
I like doing this one. So yeah, thanks guys for doing this one.
Thank you.
We'll have another one come in next month. Something special. Leave comments. We've got a million ideas, but if we see one that I'm sure a lot of people have crossover ideas, and if we see one that's like, we got to do this, we'll probably jump it to the front of the line. So yeah, otherwise check out our all our socials and links in the bottom where to find each one of us if you like any of us. And we'll see you next month.